Alright, so it is the lunar eclipse today, if I'm not wrong. I don't know, I can hear someone singing bhajan or something. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about lunar eclipse, but I am here to talk about how you should not let struggles or negative people make you bitter in life. Okay, have you watched the spat which happened at a press conference with a journalist and Kangna? Okay, I'm sure it has been all over the news. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to discuss too much about it, but I will be talking a little bit about it. So stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Calliope and today I am going to just give you a little bit of pep talk on how you should not let struggles and negative people and criticism make you a better person. Okay, so I'm sure you guys have seen the Kangna interview and I don't know, need to get into a lot of details, but I think she was really pissed off because it was more like of a personal, you know, she was, I think, personally very upset with that journalist because he had apparently criticized the movie Manikarnika, or he was also like criticizing probably her, being more of a saffron BJP supporter, kind of. If you've seen in the last couple of years, she seems more like, it looks like agar movies nahi chali, yeah, she decides to quit, she will definitely have a seat ready in the BJP. So first of all, yes, Kangana is an outsider, and it's not easy, to be honest, to not be connected to a film family and try to make it in the film industry. I mean, I have been a part of it, so I understand. I know even to get a job as an assistant director, for me it was so difficult, and someone like, say, किसी का नेफ्यू, किसी का बेटा, फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में से ही होंगे, उन लोगों को बस एक फ़ोन कॉल करने की ज़रूरत है एंड दे विल जस्ट गेट इट. ओके, दे विल जस्ट मोस्टली get a job as an assistant director, and it's not that you have to go from being a clap boy or being in the costume department and then rising up from a second AD to a first AD to a chief AD, etc. इनको मिल जाता है, ओके, आराम से. So when it comes to, of course, having been gone for a lot of auditions and shoots, etc., even trying as an actor, I know that it's very difficult for someone like an outsider to break, to get a break in the industry. And yes, we all applaud Kangna for doing that. I loved the movie Queen, I loved Gangster and her role in Fashion and a couple of such movies. Yeah, I don't know if I can remember any other films. I haven't watched Manikarnika and I didn't really like the promos. I mean, just because you're making a patriotic film doesn't mean it is the best, because at the end it's about the script and acting and everything, the whole filmmaking process. Yeah, so we all applaud her for doing that and for making these movies. But having said that, of course, the journalists, the film critics, even people like us, they have a right to comment, criticize, and not like her film or not like certain things that she says. Okay, like, I have not disabled the comments on any of my videos because it's freedom of speech. Jisko jo bolna hai wo bolo. It's there are many times that there are certain videos like which will get more comments, and of course I might not like it, but that doesn't mean that I don't accept criticism. It's not always that all criticism is right or true. I have the right to reply to them or ignore these comments or delete it also. But I choose to keep it. I choose to sometimes reply to certain criticism or some negative comments. Sometimes I just prefer ignoring unless it's really something pervert or something. I decide to block that person, delete it, because what if some teenager or someone younger decides to watch my videos, because I know some of them do. So yeah, in my own building I know there are people who do watch my videos who are teenagers. So I try to, like, try to keep the comments filtered for that purpose. But yeah, if even if whether you're a celebrity and you are saying something which is people might not like, especially if it's targeting a particular community, and you're trying to show your idea of what is being a nationalist, being patriotic, then don't tell us, like, what is nationalist view, what is patriotism. I don't need people to give me advice on that, because I know what patriotism means to me. It is definitely not bashing a particular community. It's definitely not using filthy language for a particular community, or definitely the way she went on to make that video. I think on Insta story, I think her sister posted it. Half of the time you don't understand whether it's Kangana only tweeting from her sister's account, or it's her sister's views or whatever. And the way, they both, like, Kangna's sister also, the way she uses the language, it's किसी ने लिखा था कि झोपड़पट्टी और उससे भी worst. But honestly, some of the झोपड़पट्टी walas are also much decent. They are, educated. They are just trying to earn a decent, honest living, and they don't use such language. Not all झोपड़पट्टी walas are bad. So don't really degrade the slum people. But yeah, I mean, the language she used was really filthy. And of course, she was saying ki, about a section of the media, and that is true, that it's not just about the media, but in every profession there are good people, there are bad people. And of course, there are people who we can see that even when it comes to news channels, that who is an honest journalist and who is a more pro government channel, and they're just showing what stupid news. So we can understand what are paid channels, what is paid news, and what is really right actual journalism. So the same way, yeah, she was right in a way, but the language I did not really like. And Desh Drohi and all that. I mean, for me, the people who are not showing actual news are anti-national, according to me, who are Deshdrohi. And they're just like trying to show stupid news which is not even factual, which is not really relevant. And बस एक घंटे का पूरा ये बना देते हैं जैसे कि सास बहू का सीरियल हो. So those kind of people are, for me, anti-national, and her way of seeing things is different. But yes, if she really wanted to, confront the journalist, she could have done that personally. Apparently, I think they were friends, or they knew each other personally, I think, pehle, pata nahi. So just because you're a friend, I mean, doesn't mean that you have to constantly lick each other's ass. I mean, you can just you can be honest, and at the end he is doing his job. And another thing is that yes, he has the right to, like, you are a celebrity, you are a public figure, so of course people are going to question what you say more than normal person's viewpoints. So what she says is definitely going to be quoted, is definitely going to be criticized if it is wrong, according to majority people, or us pseudo liberals, जैसे हमें बोला जाता है, pseudo liberals, pseudo feminists, whatever. Maybe we are just we are too truthful and you cannot see the truth. That's the only difference between us, maybe. So-called nationalist person, so-called patriotic person. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, she has gone through a lot of struggle, and if you are someone like that, we all have gone through certain struggles in our career, in our life, in our personal relationships, but we have to heal. We have to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive people. We have to move on. You cannot constantly keep on talking about it. You cannot constantly bring that up, especially in her case. During interviews, there is seriously no filter. Constantly trying to be in the limelight, I don't know, by just giving these opinions. Okay, I mean, even if she had an affair with Hrithik Roshan, okay, and she's spoken about it, and वो एक tweet से शायद start हुआ था, and he's moved on, and he did not want to acknowledge the relationship. He did not want to give her that status. I think she wanted to get married and whatever. Now she's not a kid, she's an adult, and आपको अगर लग रहा है कि ये बंदा नहीं चेंज होने वाला है, ये बंदा टालते जा रहा है, he's not changing, he's not going to make you his wife, and that's what you want, I think you should just leave. The good thing, you should, yeah, you wanted to vent it out, you spoke about it in an interview. There is apparently some court cases going on and all that. I mean, like, it's like any other relationship. Okay, supposing you are involved with a married guy, or you are probably involved with a guy who's planning on divorcing, or who is in separation with his wife, and it is possible that you might fall in love with that person, and you want to get married and everything. It happens. You are that second wife. Yeah, you want to get married, but what if that guy might not be ready for it? He doesn't want to give you commitment, and you have the right to walk away. You are an adult, you are mature, and you can see that. And even if you are really emotional and sensitive, I'm sure the right thing would be to actually get out of it. Okay, not constantly talk about it even after so many years. I think it's not just months, it's years, and she's just constantly talking about him. And like, her sister was, I think, in a tweet or something, she called Hrithik uncle or something. That's very childish. This is like, an adult doesn't do that. We did that probably when we were in college or in our 20s. That kind of relationships I can understand. Maybe when we are full of raging hormones and passionate, and we might lose it. Like, we are also growing in relationships, and with every relationship, I'm sure you will mature. And if someone like her, who is probably in her 30s now, I think, and I don't know when she was dating him, probably late 20s if I'm not wrong, you have to grow up at some point. Okay, you can't be the same person. You have to stand up for yourself, especially if you are a celebrity and you have achieved that much in your life. You have to take a stand for yourself. You have to let go of things, and you have to try and not wash your dirty laundry, right? That's what it's called. Wash your dirty laundry in public. Another thing, yeah, I don't know, in terms of Kangna, sometimes I feel that during press conferences, जब भी उसकी मूवी वगैरह आने वाली होती है, तभी कुछ ना कुछ कंट्रोवर्सी होती है. So I don't know whether she tries to create it, or whether she's just too honest. So whatever it is, I mean, you never know. But I'm just saying that in general also, like, please try to, sometimes it's good to, like, keep your mouth shut and not become bitter. Okay, because people have hurt you. Of course there'll be people who are going to hurt you. There'll be people who might try to con you. You're not just gonna meet good people just because you're a good person. And just because you're a good person and people have treated you badly, and you're at a privileged position now, doesn't mean that you should treat other people badly. Okay, at the end, journalists are called by producers, by the PR team and stuff, for the interviews, for the press conferences. So you both need each other. Okay, celebrities also need journalists, and journalists also need them. Okay, so it's an important relationship. You can't completely say ki, I don't need journalists. No, you do need, and especially with PR team and everything, of course you're going to need journalists to cover the interviews, to cover events, and whatever article chapna hoga uske liye bhi. Also, let me tell you that when I was working, my first job was at a music channel, and a couple of times I was sent to cover certain events. Yeah, it was not my job, but I was sent because of boss being an asshole, and because I told him to back off and not get too touchy. So yeah, before I left the job I was sent. So I have seen कोई भी इवेंट वगैरह के टाइम पे बहुत बार, सिंस बहुत कम टाइम होता है, तो ये पूरा आप समझ लो इतना सारे रिपोर्टर्स एंड सारे रिपोर्टर्स विद द कैमरामैन एंड एवरीवन, वो लोग ऐसे मतलब पूरा स्ट्रेट लाइन में नहीं रहते, बिकॉज टू गेट द बाइट्स क्विकली कभी कभी होता क्या है कि बहुत कम टाइम रहता है. सो इट्स नॉट द रिपोर्टर्स फॉल्ट, इट्स नॉट देयर फॉल्ट. दे आर ट्राइंग देयर बेस्ट टू गेट some coverage, to get some pictures, to get some bites. So yeah, I mean it's really not their fault. And of course they might be asked, कि ये question पूछो, ये controversial question पूछो. So at the end they are just trying to do their job, that's all. I mean, you can choose to not answer it, you can choose to not react, like I said, and of course not try to use your position, not try to use your fame now to treat people badly. If you see, for example, Rajkumar Rao, I mean, he's also an outsider, and he is now successful, and I'm sure he was also rejected by a lot of people. Even Shahid Kapoor, I've heard, even though he was from he had a famous father, he was from a kind of a film family, but he also had to struggle, and there were so many people who rejected him at the castings and auditions, and directors who said, doesn't look great, etc., not fit. Okay, that's what you're told at the auditions, etc. So but he did not become bitter. And same about Rajkumar Rao. I find him so humble and down to earth, and his face was देखने लायक था वो press conference में. So I think he has conducted himself so well. So I think Kangna should learn a thing or two from her co-star. And lot of successful people, there are many people who are very successful yet down to earth, and they don't treat people badly just because someone has treated them badly in the past. I think you can choose to ignore that person, or you can just be a bigger person, like that's the difference. Like you can be nice to them, and maybe they'll realize their mistake, or think, oh, I was mean to this person, and yet he or she is like so humble and so sweet. So of course you have to be cordial, especially in any field. I mean, as you go up, you're still going to meet those people who might have treated you badly or whatever. You can choose to ignore them, you can choose to stay away from them, you don't have to be friends with them constantly talking about so much negative things. I mean, oh, that's like you should be a good role model, that's what I'm saying. I mean, especially celebrity like Kangna, like if you see her sister's account, there's so much of negativity. I would not follow her. I mean, I don't like to follow so much of negativity, such negative people at all. So especially if you're a celebrity, please try to be a good role model, watch your language. There are kids who are following, who look up to you, and I think you should just watch your mouth jitna ho sakta hai. So there is a saying which says that let your past make you better and not bitter. So of course there are like lessons that you learn. There are times when you would ask yourself, I'm such a nice person, why was I treated badly, why did I meet such people, why did this happen to me? But I'm sure there are lessons, in everything that you go through, and we should not let our present be dictated by our past. Okay, that is why I say that it's very important to forgive people, to forgive yourself for being vulnerable or for trusting this person. And what is the difference if you're going to just be like tit for tat? Okay, it doesn't make sense. Just I think one thing also we should focus on is focusing on our life. Okay, focusing on my work, my life, my family, instead of just constantly doing too much of negative talks, because you're sending too much of negative vibes in the universe. So try to be a little positive, try to speak only what's needed. Constantly don't do yak 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 yak. Focus on the things which make you happy. Don't focus on too much of criticism. And of course everyone has the right to criticize you, especially if you are a celebrity. Like, don't let those things disturb you. You can choose to not react to it. If you think you're right, if you think you've done a good job, just let it go. Okay, don't let other people's opinion bother you so much. Don't be so sensitive. And yes, like I said, like, just because someone, there have been people who have treated you badly doesn't mean that you should be bitter with the whole world. Okay, that's really mean, because there are good people in this world, and it doesn't make sense to treat people who are nice, badly. And of course, you can ignore those people you don't want to talk to, who have been really mean to you in the past, and focus on the people who are good to you. Work with those people who are positive and who have been nice to you. Just, and of course, especially if you are at a privileged position, like, you are an actor, you are a businessman, etc. I think it's not just about one person doing the job. Filmmaking is a process. Running a business takes people, different brains together, and it's not just a one-man show. It's not just a one-man job. So being so self-obsessed, and it's wrong to just say that I have done this and I have done that, and not acknowledge that actually there are people who have worked on this film to make it a success. Or your own team, like hairdresser, makeup, publicist, manager, everyone is working for you. I mean, helping you in being basically being successful. So you cannot be like, I am this, I am that. I mean, acknowledge people who are working for you also. It's not just a one woman's job. And of course, I don't need to get into the fact that I do not agree with her political views, and she kind of tries to show that she's the only one who is a nationalist, but yeah, that is something she should just stop talking, if she, especially if she's not aware of certain things, okay, about politics or about certain laws, etc. I mean, so yeah, I just wanted to put this video across. Like, if you are a fan of Kangna, great. I also was a fan of her at one point, not anymore. I mean, maybe I'll watch her film, but not in the theater, most probably. I wanted to watch it for Rajkumar Rao, but I'm not really feeling like watching it for Kangna, so I might watch it when it comes on TV or Netflix. Yeah, this is not just about Kangna, but even if you are someone who has struggled and who's on his or her way to be successful or will be successful, I think you should follow these points and not become a bitter person, and not just unnecessary talk shit. Okay, and treat people nicely. I mean, just because someone has treated you badly doesn't mean that you should also treat others like that. Okay, So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please comment below and let me know what you think about the video, and do you agree with the points I made. Please share this video with your friends and please subscribe if you're liking my channel, my videos. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing, and please ask your family and friends to subscribe as well. If you want to check out my last video, it's somewhere here. Until next time, it's bye bye for me. Take care.